Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and tackle a deeply relatable struggle. You know the feeling? You're doing great on the IELTS reading section, and suddenly you start hemorrhaging crucial exam points, and you don't even know why. Well, in my 10 plus years of coaching students to band 7, 8, and 9 scores, I see this happen all the time. So, welcome to our interactive coaching tutorial on mastering Passage 2. And listen, we aren't just going to sit here and talk about dry theory today. We're treating this exactly like a live one-on-one coaching session. You're going to practice every single technique we cover right as we go. So get ready to roll up your sleeves and do the work.
8. That is the exact number of marks most students unknowingly drop right here in Passage 2. It's crazy. They hit a wall, panic sets in, and their time management just completely falls apart. We're going to fix that today for sure so you never lose those points again.
So here's our game plan. We have a highly systematic blueprint to get you through this. First up, we're going to uncover what makes the Passage 2 trap so incredibly dangerous. Then we'll break down a 5-step attack strategy, walk through a masterclass on specific question types, and expose those really common time-wasting traps. Finally, you're going to take on a live 12-minute independent challenge, followed by a full self-assessment to see exactly where you stand. All right, let's jump straight into the first piece of the puzzle, understanding exactly why Passage 2 costs you so many marks. You see, once you understand the trap, you can completely dismantle it. The contrast here is huge. Passage 1 is basically a gentle warm-up where you're just finding simple facts. But Passage 2, it abruptly shifts gears. You are suddenly slammed with 750 to 900 words of complex sentence structures, incredibly heavy academic vocabulary, and topics rooted in dense science, tech, or social issues. And crucially, the questions change. They go from basic fact-finding to heavily testing your ability to understand inference and opinion.
Okay, time for your first pause and try task of this explainer. I've got 2 opening sentences for you. I want you to pause the explainer right now, read both options, and decide which one of these actually belongs in a Passage 2 academic context. Drop your answer in the comments and then hit play.
Did you guess B? Absolutely. Sentence B is the clear winner here. Why? Well, just look at it. It features a highly academic register, complex noun phrases like biodiversity loss, and a very clear cause and effect structure. It shows exactly the kind of density you need to brace yourself for. If you try to approach sentence B with that same casual reading speed you used for Passage 1, you're going to run out of time almost instantly. So how do we actually survive this? We need a rock-solid 20-minute attack strategy.
Because you literally cannot just read blindly from start to finish. You have a strict 20-minute limit, and you have to be brutal with your time. Let's dive into the 5 steps you absolutely must follow. Notice how meticulously this time is divided. First, take just 30 seconds to scan the title and subtitle to predict the topic. Step 2, take exactly 2 minutes to skim only the first and last lines of each paragraph. Please do not read the whole thing. Step 3, spend 1 minute reading the questions and underlining keywords. Step 4 is targeted reading, meaning you only return to the text for relevant sections. And Step 5, which is perhaps the most crucial, answer the questions in order of difficulty, not the order they happen to appear on the page.
Let's put that crucial 5th step to the test with another pause and try moment. Imagine you're staring at 5 mixed question types. Pause the explainer right now, grab a pen, and write down your priority order. Which ones are you attacking first, and which are you leaving for absolute last? Okay, here's the secret sauce. The ideal strategy is to always tackle specific fact-locating questions first. Save the difficult, inference-based questions for later. And here is a massive pro tip for you. Always do heading questions last. Why? Because by the time you've answered all those specific detail questions, you've naturally read most of the passage anyway. That gives you the holistic understanding you need to match headings accurately without wasting any extra time. Now, let's roll up our sleeves and get into the specific question types with some live practice. Time for another interactive challenge. I want you to pause the explainer right now and try to match 3 theoretical paragraphs to their correct headings out of 5 options. Give yourself exactly 90 seconds for this. Remember our strategy. Hunt for those topic sentences, and whatever you do, avoid the classic trap of just matching a single repeated word from the very first line. Go. Welcome back. Let's break down exactly why those matches work. Notice how paragraph A pairs perfectly with option 3. And it's not because of the very first word. It's because option 3 matches the core topic sentence, which is usually buried slightly deeper in the text. Training yourself to read just past that first sentence is exactly how you dodge those cleverly laid traps. All right, now we tackle the monster. True, false, not given. For so many students, this is a nightmare, but understanding this simple comparison is absolutely vital. False means the passage actively contradicts the statement. The author is essentially saying, no, that is definitively incorrect. Not given, on the other hand, means there is a total absence of evidence. The idea might seem totally logical, it might even be a widely accepted fact in the real world, but if the author didn't explicitly mention it in the text, it's not given. Remember, absence of evidence is not evidence of contradiction.
Let's test that immediately. Pause the explainer one more time for this classification task. As you work through these 4 statements, I want you to keep a really sharp eye out for absolute words like always, never, or only. Seriously, those words are massive red flags that usually turn a core truth into a false statement. Moving right along, let's expose the absolute biggest traps that are quietly stealing your time on exam day.
It is absolutely crucial to actively avoid these 3 massive time wasters. The first one, reading the entire 750-word text first. Guys, that wastes 4 to 6 minutes. That's nearly a quarter of your total time gone from before you even look at a question. The second trap is spending 3 whole minutes staring at one stubborn, difficult question. Doing that means you risk losing 2 to 3 super easy marks further down the page. Skip it and come back. And finally, confusing a reported fact with the writer's personal opinion will instantly cost you inference points. You always have to look for signal phrases like researchers argue versus it is proven.
So here are some rapid-fire, high-impact tips to boost your speed. First, accept right now that the answer is almost never going to be word for word in the text. The entire test is built on paraphrasing. Second, do not panic over words you don't know. Just use the context clues around them to guess the meaning. Third, underline 2 or 3 keywords in the prompt so your eyes have a literal target to hunt for. And lastly, trust your gut. Studies actually show that your first instinct on these reading tests is correct about 65% of the time. Overthinking it literally lowers your score. All right, we've covered the theory, we've practiced the steps. Now it's time for the final boss, your independent practice challenge. You've learned the strategies. Now you have to execute them under real pressure. I'm giving you exactly 12 minutes. 12 minutes to complete a custom exam-level mini passage exercise focusing on urban green spaces and mental health. I want you to treat this exactly like test day. No pausing, no rewinding, and absolutely no dictionaries allowed. Here's exactly what you're up against in that 12-minute window. You've got 13 questions covering all the types we just practiced. You'll be hunting for contradictions, scanning for paragraph headings, and eliminating clever distractors in the multiple choice section. Get your timer ready, take a deep breath, pause the explainer, and begin your challenge right now. Good luck. And time's up. Welcome back. Let's reveal the complete answer key and see exactly how you did. Fantastic job pushing through that challenge. Now take a really close look at how heavily disguised these correct answers were. This is classic IELTS. For question 8, the word improve in the original text was transformed into ameliorate for the summary. If you didn't know that synonym, you had to rely on context clues. And for question 11, options A, B, and D all used dangerous absolute language. That made option C the only logical survivor through the process of elimination. Remember, the test isn't just measuring your English vocabulary, it's measuring your ability to detect paraphrasing. Finally, tally up your total out of 13 and map your score right here. If you hit 10 to 12, you are operating at a really strong Band 7 approach level. If you're down in that 4 to 6 range, don't stress, but you do need to double down on your true false not given training. Drop your final results in the comments below. I really want to see how you all did. And as you review your mistakes today, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Are you still just trying to read English words on a page, or are you finally learning how to read the test itself? Master the strategy, and the score will naturally follow. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next explainer.